Jeff, what was your friend's name? Alice
Flaherty.
Suitor Boots?
Suitor Boots.
Well, she's nay Suitor Boots.
I think your admiration of her is really beautiful. I also think it's very funny that you're just sorry, I just spit on Anatoly. I think you're like describing her home, walking in and there being things hanging everywhere.
Well, this is
disconcerting.
This is by her description. I'd never been there. It's her description of it. That she says that like there's hypergraphia, I think it's called, like where you write a lot. If you are a bad writer and you write everywhere and you write on every surface, they lock you up. If you're a good writer and you're hypergraphic, you're Chaucer, you're Dostoevsky. There's people that have been hypergraphic throughout the ages that they cannot stop writing, and there's a reason why we have these giant tomes by certain authors. And she said the greatest thing I ever did was marry a publisher. But she really does carry a certain kind of pen to write all the way up her wrists. But also she's like. She was hospitalized, I believe.
Shocking.
For like she kind of like melted down, and they said you can't like self-diagnose yourself. We have to put you away for a while.
Oh man.
And she's like, no, like I can do this, but she would stay. She wouldn't sleep, and she would build things. There's the.
That's why I don't believe in psychiatry or psychology.
Why?
I feel like in movies
because there's a disease you can diagnose called being awesome.
They call it mind or anything else when you see like
superiority complex is a diagnosable thing. You can go to a qualified doctor and you can tell them how you feel, and they can tell you that you have a diagnosable thing called superiority complex. And I'm like, okay, that may be true for an inferior person. However, you may need to dig deeper than that, parasite.
Actuality complex.
Keep going. Yes, I am. I have a complex about how superior I am.
Superiority complex isn't superior enough a name for what I have.
Yeah, but I'm being glib. But that's the failing of studying the mind. It's a fucking don't laugh. I mean, do laugh.
I was laughing because you put the mind in quotes.
Well, I'm saying like this idea that you can circumscribe intellect has this huge failing.
Joy,
everyone that built the world that we're sitting in,
the human brain is.
We're sitting here under lights created by a guy that believed more than someone else that you could illuminate this room after sundown. We and most importantly of all, we understand the universe we're living in because of a guy who didn't believe, unlike everyone else, that the reason light seems to travel the same speed no matter what point of departure it has isn't because there's some unseen jello we all live in called the ether. It's because E equals MC squared. That guy was out of his fucking mind. If Einstein had gone to a therapist, they would have told him so many times, knock it off. They would have said, like, do you really think thinking that light is a variable is getting you anywhere? No, I guess not. Don't you think you should comb your hair and change your sweater and fucking go work at IKEA? Fuck therapists. And I'm not saying that anyone that has a problem with therapy is going to be Einstein. I'm just saying, fuck you, therapy.
You just hate change.
I don't... Wait, I love change. What are you talking? I hate change. Einstein loved change. He was like, change everything all the time. He died going, I didn't change enough. Stephen Hawking is like, I can't change enough. Like, he's trying to change everything. Every day he's like, oh, fuck my body. Only my eyeballs can move. I still want to prove how fucking retarded everything. God damn it, I said it again.
Dan, you're especially always trying to soak up positive.
You've come down pretty hard on retards on the show.
My sister's retarded, so fuck everybody.
You can't keep cashing that chip in, man.
I mean, I gotta try. I know I can't. I'm sorry.
You especially seem to always seek out like positive things to change about yourself. You just don't like therapists because they're not as smart as you most of the time, because most people aren't as smart.
What more reason do you need?
No, I don't need any. I agree with you. I think that's a valid thing. I don't think it has anything to do with change.
We have a hand shooting up, and we like to respect this at Harmontown. Why is your hand shooting up?
Adam Goldberg told me to go for it.
No, I did.
Oh, whoa.
Well, what's
Thesis, I've been seeing... Hello there, my name is Liz.
Hello.
Big fan.
We're in a safe place.
I have been seeing a therapist for 4 years, and he is much dumber than me.
All right.
And I think what you're saying about therapists is something that's untrue. They don't try to make you act like a normal person. I think you're a little bit angry because you don't actually have Asperger's, and a therapist would tell you that you're just kind of a jerk.
I don't believe that I have Asperger's. I wouldn't fault anybody for telling me that. Were you expecting a standing ovation for saying that?
It's also individual. I don't. Maybe it's not necessarily about someone being smarter than you, but it's someone. It's about like I think it's. I haven't found a great therapist, and I don't think it's because I can't find anyone smarter than me. But like I think you have to find someone that works with you.
But wait, I want to let's stick to the healthy core of what she's saying. You're saying you're a reasonably intelligent person, and you've been going to a therapist that you feel you can sense maybe. Hopefully, he's not listening, or she. You feel like maybe they're not.
I've told him
they're dumber than you, but you're achieving a benefit from meeting with this person. So explain that how that's possible. How you can go to a therapist that you think is dumber than you, and how that can benefit you.
I have health insurance from, I think, Anthem, and it covers Adderall prescription for $5 a month.
So you have a drug dealer.
All right. Yes.
And he's dumb because he gives you drugs and you don't need them. So that's great. That's what you're saying.
Technically, I do need them. I have ADHD. He won't diagnose it because he doesn't believe in diagnoses.
I have a million and no questions.
I have negative 5 questions. Yank the mic back like a fucking.
But thank you.
Adderall's great.
Therapy's fine. Like everything. I think Dan feels the same way. Recently, like I think that realizing that arbitrary things, like anything that makes you feel better, giving deciding that a chair, every time you see a chair every day, is going to remind you that humanity is important. Like it's whatever fucking works for you. Dan's not saying that therapy's bad.
Yeah, I am.
No, for you. No, but you won't say
that
definitively. No, you don't. You don't think it is. I think
I do think there's a fucking danger in it. I do.
I agree.
I think that the idea of therapy is founded by, like, there is no such thing as a revolutionary therapist. There is no such thing as a person who sets up an office in a mini mall and sits there with a clipboard and waits for patients to come in and sign their health insurance forms and can't wait to tell that person that everything they thought walking in is bullshit and they need to go out and fuck it up.
But when someone comes to you and says, Dan, like, I have a therapist and I don't know if I'm an asshole, but this person works for me, you don't say to them, that's not true. Like, you're happy for people to do their own thing, right? Marriage. I mean, you're fine with people.
Yes, people who are already happy with the way things are going, who are having like weird speed bumps. I think that there's ways. We got another hand coming up from the middle of the crowd. I don't know why. I hope it's not just okay. I won't say what I hope it's not.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm a big fan.
All right. Hi, well, thank you.
I just want to say that I didn't go to therapy for a really long time, and I started going, and she's amazing. And it's not because she tells me anything new. It's because she supports the ideas I already have. And she's a fucking awesome feminist. And
all right. Now tell her she's wrong. Tell her her feelings are bad. Tell her her joy is wrong.
Okay, all right.
Tell her she should buy a bottle of booze.
No,
I drink plenty.
What's your? Are you willing to say your name? Or?
Yeah, I'm Zoe.
Zoe.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. I did go. Okay. Okay. All right. Here's where I come clean. I went to a therapist once who I think was awesome.
Whoa! Shit!
And he was way too expensive. Way too expensive. Like if I had my mental health would have cost me my home, my everything. I would have been under a bridge, being like, I get why this bridge deserves to be over me. I just fucking bailed because I got nervous because he was not covered by Blue Cross or Blue Shield or anything, and I just bailed. He was Jungian. He told me. I'm saying like Zoe's saying like she's probably a feminist. She went to a therapist who's a feminist. It's like, in other words, to extrapolate that, you went to a therapist who's actually so activated that you didn't feel like you were sitting in a strip mall with somebody who was an agent of compromise.
No, she challenges me, but if I tell her that's not how I feel, she totally.
She wants you to be who you are and not who she is.
Zoe actually doesn't have a mic right now. That's just how activated she is.
She's booming out to
her sense of self-worth is.
I did go to a guy who was like this amazing like guy who was a Jungian guy who told me in our first session, he said, go home. And it was all Jungian stuff, and I'm into Campbell, and
so you love therapy.
I like talking to this guy a little bit, kind of, but it was like. I could have been.
Got money now. Go back to him, man.
But I'm telling you, I could be mentally unhealthy and driving around in a Tesla.
This Jungian guy was Carl Jung.
Zoe? Can you pass the mic?
I'm just saying you should see my therapist. She's really supportive.
Can we bring her to Harmontown?
Shelley Wilson. What's her name? EY.
Just really quick.
Can we?
Really quick. You like talking to a person, but not the title therapist. You like talking to a person and relaying things, and actually like having a conversation with someone you feel has the credentials to talk to you. But the therapist, the title therapist, is just like too. It gives them the right to take money from you and like all this stuff for like just talking to like a person.
Right. I don't know. What do you? I mean, what do you? You're saying that's how I feel.
Well, from what I'm taking from what you're saying.
Yes, that's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a dentist, but for your brain. It's not fair. There's a million bad dentists. They're like, oh, your teeth are fucked up. I'm gonna drill here and drill there, and it's like they're fucked up. Like they don't go to school, and like what they learn at school is how many teeth people have. They don't learn what it takes to fucking bite.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you, but Zoe is saying like I mean,
it's like if therapists were called expert life livers.
Yeah.
You'd question everything about them, but it's all different.
I mean, I figure I know. This has been a long time coming. I'm glad this size audience came here. I've always been waiting to be called out on this. I know I need to go back to therapy. I know that nobody needs therapy more than me. I'm,
Someone wooed. One of your ex-girlfriends is in the back and is cheering.
Somebody cheered like they were at a Bon Jovi concert.
And I very much respect. I'm not even sure, young lady. What was your name? Michelle. I'm not even sure if you're on my side or Zoe's side or somewhere in between. But I respect everybody who's saying like, look, that takes bravery. We're in a big throng. Where obviously all you'd have to do to be on my side is go, fuck therapy. And yet we have a hand up over here.
It's become a
town hall.
She is a therapist.
Come on down.
Are you willing to come out?
Expert life, liver, ombre sweater, looking healthy.
Well, are you okay coming up? Because we don't bully people here.
Do you take Writers Guild insurance?
Have you been to the show before?
Yes, I'm a big fan.
So we never pick on people. Yes. No one's going to pick on you here.
Thou protest too much.
But it's okay. You said you got pushed up here, but you're okay being up here, right?
I'm okay.
Okay, all right. What's your name?
My name's Amber.
Amber.
Dr. Amber.
Dr. Amber. All right.
I just got licensed.
This Friday on the CW.
I'm so excited about the show. Like, this has been a long time coming. I really need to have my face rubbed in this section of the carpet. I've been talking a lot of shit a long time about therapy.
I don't have a problem with what you've said, but
if I did, it would go a little something like this.
Therapists therapists are professional helpers, and like any doctor, if you don't like the first one, you find another one that you do like.
Right.
There are a lot of shitty therapists and therapists that take advantage of people or are egotistical themselves, but I went to school for a long time to learn techniques to help. And Zoe's therapists and others, some of them you find a good connection with someone who's going to be real with you and lead you to be a better you.
Is there a scope? Well, so there's two things. Just in the short time that you talked, I'm like, I want to say this, I want to say that.
I charge.
I'm sorry, our time is up.
I really hope, Amber, that you get some money out of this.
When you go, I'll give her a pile of it. Yeah, but I'll go to. You have to give it to 826 LA though. When people go to study teeth in dental school, what they learn is that there's a certain amount of teeth that they exist in an ideal condition in a certain row and things like that. So the thing that scares me immediately is the idea of the human mind as an array of features that's supposed to be arranged in a certain order. That's the first thing that scares guys in my profession. I'm not unique in that way. Every hack writer in the world wants to hold on to his specialness and thinks that it's going to be taken away. And I tell 9 out of 10 of those people, "Fuck you, you hack! Stop using the fact that you did a rewrite on The Pest with John Leguizamo as an excuse to be mean to your girlfriend. Go to therapy. You're being an asshole." But me, that's a different matter. Like I got something to protect over here. How do you respond to that idea that like other sciences are like a doctor goes, okay, this is what a bone is supposed to do. This is what a tooth is supposed to do. This is what a liver is supposed to look like. When you're dealing with the human mind, not the brain, but the mind, the personality. How do you guys? What do they teach you in?
It's 144 characters.
To account for the fact that some people actually are supposed to be a little bit crazy.
I think number one is we've had a lot of trouble even being seen as a science, and I'm a psychologist. So
not a psychiatrist, right?
I don't prescribe medication. I do talk therapy and those kind of interventions. So I see the human mind as messy. It is not just black and white. We're taught ways to get you to function better.
What's your definition of it not functioning? I don't want to cut you off, but
that's it.
What's your definition? What's your definition of it not functioning? If somebody comes up to you, I would hope if somebody said to you like, I'm having fights with my girlfriend. I am going to marry her in November, and
This is totally hypothetical, by the way. He's asking for a friend.
Is it? How do you account for? I don't know how many. I want to ask you a million questions, but I guess I'm supposed to pay for it.
We have all night.
Well, how many patients do you have? What fields do they come from? Where's your office? How long have you been doing this?
I just finished my postdoc a couple months ago, so I'm starting to work at the VA. I don't have a start date yet. That's my new job.
You're working with veterans?
It'll be it's at the Veterans Hospital in West LA. But I was working at a private practice in Studio City, and we saw kids and teens with autism and ADHD, and I saw just regular adults. And I worked at Kaiser for my internship, where we saw, everyone, any walk of life, psychosis to I'm just having trouble with my fiance.
So not to put you on a spot, but you're like, if you could, what is your definition of? I don't even want to say an unhealthy mind. I want to say.
I would say if the people around you are worried, and there's a consensus that you could be doing better, that would be indication number one.
That's terrifying. That's Donald Sutherland in Body Snatchers. If there's a consensus that you could be, I mean, know how that sounds.
But it would also be, do you think you could be doing better? I mean, when someone comes into my office.
But what if I think I could be doing better if everyone else thinks I could be doing better? And what if I don't trust them?
Then I'd start thinking about certain diagnoses.
Then you send me to a psychiatrist.
Right. But I would want to talk to those people and spend more than just 5 minutes in a strip mall with a clipboard. I would spend a couple hours talking to you about what's really going on. What are you worried about? Why are you concerned about coming to see me? Even what are you? I mean, you've already.
It's always. I'll answer your question. Although I'm not coming to see you. The last 11.
This is called playing hard to get.
The last 11 times I've gone to a therapist, it's always been because it's make or break with the. I'm always on the verge of I'm hurting somebody that I'm with.
I would say you've waited too long. I'm not.
I'm waiting for my mic to turn into a bouquet of flowers.
I just mean that I think most people make the mistake of
waiting until
it's a last resort.
I get
I'm
that.
not a couples therapist, but
she's not on your side, Aaron. You're not listening to what she's really saying.
Some people do preemptive, marriage counseling or couples counseling.
But that's like picking a scab, right? It's like you should have dealt with this when it was bleeding.
No. I think preemptive counseling's cool because I think it's super rad.
It's totally Bieber.
I mean, I'm really happy with our relationship right now, but we do have a few communication issues, so it'd be nice to kind of work out a game plan or just kind of have a...
This is one of the problems I would be coming to you with, is that I have a fiance who tries to parlay any situation into her political advantage. I feel like
That's not true.
Wait, somebody's storming the stage.
Premarital counseling.
Can you take that, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
I'm coming
Well,
humbly.
go sit behind the table.
I'm coming humbly.
Or he's just gonna. Yeah. What's your name, sir?
James Lively.
James Lively.
Fake name. I do fake name counseling.
Look at, here's what's cool.
Go with maybe a John Smith or a.
My name is Most Likely.
My grandfather was a Hollywood writer. Crazy alcoholic. Blah 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 blah. And I went to couples therapy. Okay, so. Okay,
Wait,
so,
why do you have a microphone in your hand right now?
I don't know, this undeserving douchebag that came up here. That's what I am.
No, but you have something to say about couples therapy.
Yeah,
Mr.
so if
Lively.
we track back the conversation a little bit, what's interesting, if you go back to your comment about diagnosing people who have a superiority complex. It's troubling because it's those people are Darwinian geniuses. They're going to take us all over, right? They're the technocratic, capitalistic, geniuses. But what's interesting about therapy is it's a bunch of angst-ridden people who decided that human compassion is actually more important. That's why they're diagnosing things like superiority complex.
I feel like you expected an applause break that you did not get.
No.
And then you were kind of like...
No, I know. As long as we're doing philosophy, though, I'm you're a Socrates. You care enough to listen to a rambling idiot like myself.
I'm not a
But
Socrates.
Mr. Lively, you came up to support couples therapy, right?
No, it's interesting.
Did I misunderstand?
No, it's interesting.
I missed the thesis. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know that there's much of a thesis.
Get the fuck off the stage!
Yeah, you can send me back down. I know how this works.
We can't all be on stage.
Yeah, you're right. Then it goes
You're right. Okay.
But it is notable that there are so many
James
people that
Lively.
are shooting their hands up in support of therapy.
There's got to be a way for you to
this
gracefully
topic really-
receive.
I have a way. Let's supplant James Lively. Thank you very much, James Lively. Let's bring up Spencer Crittenden.
Yeah.
Wait, is he here?
Spencer's not here.
He's not here?
He's not here.
He's not here?
He's not here.
Don't tell James Lively that.
I was sent here with a message for you.
Oh, shit. Where's Spencer?
He would like to take the week off. Spencer has grown up. He's remember when Greg
Thank you,
Brady
James.
got his... thank you, James. Thank you.
I have no idea what happened, but thank you.
How are you
Sorry, young lady. I didn't. No, give me
Dr.
the microphone back.
Amber is
We
her
were
name.
making headway here. Like
She gave it to me. She wants
Oh
to
well,
leave.
because she's yes.
Now, Dan, would you consider seeing somebody like Dr. Amber or somebody in her ilk?
I don't know if I would. If her name was Dr. Amber, I would. I would feel too nervous that when I came home and
Also,
my
Dr.
fiance
Amber-
asked me how it went with Dr. Amber, I would be like, fine, and it would be like,
I made lots of.
were you in a porno?
Earlier you said that Dr. Amber wasn't on my side. Yes, you were, right?
Amber, don't pick sides.
Not in a on my side thing. I mean, things are fine with us. Everything's fine.
No, I know, but I just...
we could have some tools. We
All
could
right.
use some tools. Is there now, Dan? If let's just say hypothetically, you started going to sessions with Dr. Amber, let's say, but Erin started.
She comes back smelling like pina coladas.
Yes. But Erin started also seeing one of her other doctors,
Dr. Thor.
Dr. Thor.
We meet in a sauna. That's where his office is, Dan.
I wanted to actually. I think Dr. Amber. I think that's a weird name to give a person who's a doctor.
It sounds like a striptease is imminent.
I think it's valuable that I, for the last at least a year and a half.
Get those dollars out, gentlemen.
Taking a shit on the profession of therapy in general, and I don't know. I would like to hear out any perspective from that side. Like we never have anybody up here who has the guts to say, okay, I do that thing for a living and I'm not a piece of shit and I don't prey on people and I'm not an agent of compromise. I do just want people to feel good about themselves regardless of how crazy they are. That's the thing that I want to understand.
She likes you and appreciates you. I like Dr. Amber. I think you should go to Dr. Amber.
We're not...
Amber, how many Harmontowns have you heard or have been to?
Oh, I listen regularly.
So Muslim.
You should go to Dr. Amber.
I don't want to.
Hang on.
This is about where I go.
Hang on.
This is a larger, important issue.
I have a follow-up question. Is there, does something come to your mind that, like I wouldn't ask you to diagnose Dan, but
but you will in this moment.
But having heard, basically Harmontown is nothing more than just a huge soliloquy of what's going on with him. Like, was there any diagnosis that comes to mind, or
you don't have an answer? You don't. But you
I mean, honestly, I don't have an answer for that. There isn't one that comes
It's
to
not
mind.
really your business to diagnose, right?
No, I shouldn't diagnose having just heard a podcast. And
Right. But also, even,
Yes, Dr. Amber for life.
but also,
May we
even
all
if-
be stuck in amber.
a psychologist doesn't diagnose,
Business
do
card
they?
Yeah,
pitch.
Because they don't prescribe anything.
No, we do diagnose. We use the DSM-5 now, but that is by the American Psychiatric Association.
Right.
These
They're the
all
ones that
sound
give-
like real things.
They are real. But, they're the ones that can push medication, and so if they come up with diagnoses, more of you can qualify for those medications. If I took insurance and you came to me and I wanted to be reimbursed for helping you and everything, I would need to give you a diagnosis.
Oh.
You would leave the office with a diagnosis.
Kind of a conflict of interest, that.
It's a terrible system.
Because you need to actually come up with a label
Yeah,
for a
when you could
person
just
who
be-
happens to just have a problem with the way the world
Exactly.
is. What a
Trouble.
weird conflict of interest. And that is nothing. Like that's not to say that you have wasted your life in your occupation or that you're not a good person. But I will say that means I'm fucking right. Because that is fucking horse shit. That's capitalism in action. If you have a problem with the way the world works, you're supposed to go to someone in a kiosk and they are beholden not to your condition, not to your happiness, and not even to the happiness of anyone around you, but to the happiness of your fucking healthcare provider. They're beholden to corporations' definitions of mental health. There is no such thing as as mental health is defined by a corporation. A corporation defines normality as corporations being human beings,
Dr.
having
Amber,
votes,
please come down
influencing
to,
society.
corridor 3.
That's insanity.
Dr.
It's
Amber.
insanity that corporations have any power over anybody. That's automatically insane. You wake up in an insane world. You wake up in a world of psychosis. So by definition, if you feel psychotic, if you think rivers are red and the sky is purple, you may possibly be sane. You may be the only sane person in the world. Taste the rainbow? Fuck you, Skittles. You can't taste a rainbow.
Paging Dr. Amber. Code red.
They will tell you that you can taste a rainbow.
Code rainbow.
It's not your fault, but you are part of the beehive, and that's why I don't do it. I won't taste.
Do you have any pets, Dr. Amber?
Yes, I have 2 cats.
You have 2 cats. What are their names?
Dolly and Jezzy.
Dolly and Jezzy. Go to Dr. Amber.
Well, listen, I went to school not to learn what the diagnoses are, but I went to school to learn how to help people who present with a certain problem. Lots of psychologists, lots of people are unhappy with the DSM, if people know what that is, the big book of mental illness. There's huge controversy about it. But I can still be a psychologist and throw some label on something, but still treat the real issue. If you have something you want to work on, we work on that. And I don't think too much about something I wrote on an insurance form.
But you have to write something.
If I take insurance, I have to. If I took cash, I'd say, you're just troubled, let's just talk.
How much cash would you take?
How much are you willing to get?
Her, you have to make a show.
Too much for me to keep coming back.
Yeah, I mean,
if I happen to be a really smart fucking dude who had a bunch of fucking problems, I would go bankrupt trying to set my mind straight.
Maybe.
For sure.
I mean, most charge between $150 and $200 an hour. What?
The dude that was working on me was charging more than my rent a month. It was like I loved it. He was great, but fucking whatever. Apparently, being mentally healthy means you can't live in this society, which is what I thought walking in the door. That's what makes me crazy. If tomorrow seems weird, maybe it needs to keep seeming weird. Like I don't know. If you're talking to a fire hydrant, everybody drives by you and like pats their pockets as they walk by. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Like you keep sliding the lever down from there. It's like, oh, I'm talking to a fire hydrant. Well, I'm talking to a rainbow. Oh, I'm talking to a palm tree. I'm talking to children. I'm talking to the concept of happiness. I'm talking to the TV industry. Oh, my dad worked in TV. Oh, I got a job. And meanwhile, somebody else is like, well, I might be talking to a fire hydrant, but I got to be a dishwasher. But my family doesn't have any money, so I'm out in the street and wandering around, hitting myself in the head. And some of those people are Habsburgs, like in the 17th century. It depends on the support system. It's fucking money. Everybody's got chemical imbalances. Everybody's got a blue drop of liquid in their brain and a green drop of liquid, and it's like at a certain little balance in their head. Shamanism.
Good news is no one's going to make you go to therapy.
I know nobody's going to make me go to therapy. I'm trying to set this shit straight once and for all. I'm shuffling off this mortal coil. I'm done with this planet. I made it. I fucking won. I don't need shit. What I would like to do is look back on this Monopoly game from wherever Beyond Go is and go, fuck you people. What did you think was the point of the game?
It's called jail.
How many if the point of the game is to have a certain amount of red hotels and a certain amount of squares, like I just want to understand, like, what do I have to do to be a good person? Because I want to have a kid. I want to have 2 kids. I want to spend the rest of my life. I want to slowly crumble into a skeleton and like crumble into dust and leave a kid behind me. But I don't want to.
You want to leave a kid behind a skeleton?
Yes, Jeff. Yeah. That's called parenthood. Yes. You don't want to leave a kid in front of a skeleton. That's bad.
Hey, Dad, let's throw a baseball. Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'm sorry, you're stranded up here. Should we? Do you have any final words for your vocation? Or I think you seem like a really
I like
you're
Dr.
definitely
Amber.
a hero for
I
coming up
also
here.
like Dr. Amber.
Is there anything else?
I feel like I have to give some sort of message. Therapy's not for everyone, but if you're interested, try a few until you find one that works. You heard people talk about it tonight, and it is just finding a connection with someone else. And if it's not a therapist, it's your podcast is your therapy, I think.
Would you agree? Okay, so stay up here for a second. Now you're trapped because this brings up a good point. When we're in the beginning, we were talking about
become the hunted.
like a dentist gets to say like, okay, this is where your molar should be. If your molar's in the front, then something wrong, and the dentist can say.
Why the teeth thing?
Because it's an easy analogy to compare it to another science.
Okay.
Okay. So with the mind, but as Amber is saying, it's obviously more nuanced than that. However, according to the insurance companies, it ain't.
Right.
That's the problem. So what I'm saying to Amber is, in view of that, and the fact that that's how it is your suggestion to people like that, unlike a dentist, with therapy, it's beholden upon the consumer to actually explore as much as they would with a romantic relationship. You have to actually speed date. You have to.
Totally.
If you go to your first therapist and you're happy, you're fucking up maybe.
Yeah, and you're not really talking to your dentist. The way that you might too.
And your teeth are like set in order by order of 6 million years of evolution, whereas your brain is. I'm saying like, so all of you out there who are happy with your first therapist, you're about as happy as people who married out of high school. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, fuck you, fuck you, fuck all of you. Enjoy your divorce. Stacy and Steve. Oh, you were so cute together, remember? You fucked up. What do you think the odds were? Oh, sorry, Zoe, you're raising your hand.
I have something to say.
All right. Back. Amber's like, God damn it, what do I got to do to get out of here?
Act 3.
So my first therapist was the one who helped me get out of my first unhappy marriage.
Okay, all right.
It's a comedy.
I'm serious.
All right, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, when you put a human face on it, okay, it's fine, Zoe. But don't you think your second therapist might have made you really mentally healthy?
To
like
be,
at a
to
level
be fair,
that...
my therapist doesn't take insurance, so she's not beholden to anyone. I think you're a little jaded. And people, if you need therapy, you should really pursue it. Don't listen to this guy. It's amazing.
I agree with that.
Don't listen to that guy.
No, I mean,
yeah. You don't want to listen to a fat rich millionaire like doesn't speak for. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm also a millionaire. Just
well, okay. Now, see that doesn't. It's not a competition. I'm saying I don't represent.
It was until it was.
A fat rich millionaire with hair in his back.
okay. I was a proper wasp for a long time. I didn't believe in therapy, and then I was so unhappy that I started going, and it's incredible. Everyone should do it if you want to.
First therapist. She's on her first therapist.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. First therapist.
Yeah.
Right out of high school.
I'm 29 years old.
What's that?
I'm 29 years old.
29.
I've only been going to her for like a year.
Well, still first therapist.
But seriously, it's someone who supports you and cares about you, and they're unbiased.
Not as much as your second therapist. I don't know, man.
So wait, are you saying my second husband is going to like me better than my first husband did?
Yes.
I'm looking for
I'm saying my first joke would get a bigger laugh than the callback.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's never fun.
Don't be so mean to my first therapist. She's really nice.
I
believe you. I believe you, Zoe. I'm not.
People who get married out of high school sometimes are very, very happy.
Yes.
No one's happy when they get married out of high school. It's totally different. It's two different things. Therapy.
Zoe, I believe Zoe. Zoe, I believe you.
I'm just saying, go to therapy if you want to. It's amazing.
Yes.
Don't get married though. That's. Never again.
I think that's perfect. perfect, though. I mean, that's perfect.
But really, everyone should stick with their first therapist.
Well, they don't have to. They go to that. But that's
it's fine.
That's the point, though. I'm not being cynical. I'm not being an asshole. What that represents is like the big pudding of if like you should think of therapy. I'm saying, Amber, you agree that because you're being like, and I don't want to throw you under the bus, but you're saying in this world where you have to like we should definitely all seek therapy. Number one. Number two, we should all be really picky.
I don't think she said that. I don't think she said that. No, she didn't say that we should all seek therapy. Don't throw her under the bus at all. I don't understand.
All right.
This is Amber!
All right, let's let Amber go so we don't embarrass her anymore. She did a good job. Amber's a hero.
Dr. Amber, get stuck in Amber today.
Thank you very much. I hope we didn't embarrass her too much. I thought she was, all Harmontown fans that come up on stage are fantastic. But that was that was Daniel and the Lions done.
Dr. Amber, I think she acquitted herself quite nicely.
No,
I also think like it's kind of an interesting idea, you meeting with a therapist who listens to the podcast, because obviously they appreciate you in a certain way.
I also think Zoe standing up and being like, "Oh my God, my fucking therapist is."
I think that's great. I think it's great to love your therapist.
It all mitigates the whole thing.
Aaron,
I mean, all I do is stand up here and like, I don't want to be like some jagged, weird charcoal rock guy going, "Yeah, therapist bullshit. I'm going to cut you if you come near me."
Am I wrong, Aaron? You support the idea of Dan getting therapy. You have two mics in your hand, like a weird microphone porn.
It's so funny that I can move them in a way that makes it a total. Like there's a total.
Practice makes perfect.
Special video bonus for that joke.
What if I felt some weird pressure to blow a mic because it's a video thing? No, I mean, Dan's fired up. I'm into
just
that. No, I
general?
don't. No, like I mean, speaking. There are passionate feelings on the podcast.
Answer the question.
I don't actually think that Dan needs therapy.
You know why?
Because you told her to say that.
No. No, because turnabout's fair play. That's why. Because for the same reason I love her and I'm going to marry her. Because she don't want to go to the therapist.
I also, because I have the same relationship with therapy, but I also understand it. I can't let go of the other.
The last thing she needs is me coming home and going, you know what you should do, Aaron?
I would like to go to a couples therapist so we could have tools. For tools!
Aaron, it's good news because I'm about to introduce a new segment. Called Turnabout Therapy is Fair Play. Where you guys each get to be each other's therapist for a moment. You guys know this?
No, everyone hates it. Jeff,
the audience rejected your bit. The audience doesn't want it. It sounds like a bad idea. They rejected it based on the title. They're smarter than an NBC executive.
May I reveal?
They know a failure when they hear it.
May I reveal a fantasy?
Nice. Yes.
I would like to reveal.
Do you have one more microphone?
May I reveal a fantasy? Someone asked, are they flaccid? Yes, they are, sir. Yes, they are.
Don't tell her how to have a good.
Because they respect me.
They're flaccid because they respect you.
Because they're gonna listen to me, and I haven't spoken yet. They're going to become erect once I've said.
Aaron subscribes to a really high-priced, tedious brand of pornography, in which a woman is surrounded by flaccid penises.
Okay.
Yeah, all the men are like, "Oh, she's too much, bro." I agree.
I can't get turned on. She's so smart.
I was gonna come, but you made a really good point just now.
And the point is me just rubbing my face against them like beaded curtains. Okay, this is my fantasy.
My fantasy just came true.
We only have a few minutes left, and
Yeah, we gotta keep this bullet train moving.
Dear Spencer is not here, but I have always fantasized. I mean,
Oh wow!
Good night.
Wait a
shouldn't
second.
be using the word fantasy. It's no
My
secret.
beard gently nuzzles on your tits. Slowly walking up behind you with polyhedral balls.
His dick's a dice tower.
In my fantasy, Spencer has polyhedral balls.
Yeah, that'd be neat.